Here's some video game theories that will apparently ruin your childhood. But let me just tell you, my childhood's already been ruined.
Sonic the
I dare
Hedgehog
you try and
has
ruin it
been
more.
running, spin dashing, and inspiring horrifically unsafe for work fan art since 1991.
What is that? No, Sonic should not have
What
teeth.
if I
Never
told
give
you
teeth
the
to Sonic.
blue blur may not be as free as he appears? Let's consider Sonic's home for a minute. While
What?
the world of every platformer is a little contrived, Sonic takes it to a
They're gonna say that Sonic is like a secret slave or something like that, or his entire race has been enslaved, or he's in
whole
prison
new
or something.
level. Pun intended. There are
I'm gonna say Sonic is a
loop-de-loops and
slave, right?
corkscrews that would never form naturally, existing solely to be dashed through at breakneck speeds.
Or Sonic is an SCP, and the world that he's in is some kind of containment to make sure that he does not break out and destroy the world.
Additionally, Sonic's world is full of
Thoughts?
things designed to help him. Springs, dash pads, moving platforms, and power-ups.
He's an
And
SCP.
considering Sonic's world is depicted as natural and green, with the villainous Eggman
Who is a scientist that is actually just a US government agent hired to keep Sonic in place to prevent the destruction of the world. So Eggman is actually the good guy in our
acting as
world.
the only industrial force present, it makes sense that Eggman was responsible for placing all those non-natural devices and structures in Sonic's world. But why would he create tools to help his nemesis? Well, what is Sonic? He's a hedgehog. Not technically a rodent, but a species that's lumped in with rodents like rats and guinea pigs. And you'll notice these animals are often kept as pets.
Oh no, he's not a pet, man. Come on, he's too strong to be a
That's
pet.
right. This theory posits that the grand hero Sonic the Hedgehog is little more than a pet in a cage. While all the springs, loops, dash pads, and moving platforms don't make sense as natural occurrences, they do make sense as exercise machines.
That's so messed up. So you're saying that Dr. Eggman... Oh, this does make sense, actually, because usually when I go to play with my pet and he gets a little bit rowdy, he ends up beating me up. So it makes sense in the Sonic universe that he also beats up the owner, which is Eggman,
Like
as well.
elaborate hamster wheels for Sonic to run around on. Sure, there are enemies and traps in the level to avoid, but Eggman also
Let's play a game of Do We Believe the Conspiracy Theory? Right now,
gives
I'm
Sonic
on
a
this
way of
train.
gaining more lives. Not really the actions of someone who wants Sonic out of the picture. With that said, I dread to think how high Eggman's pet insurance premiums must be.
Yeah, I believe it. I'm on board. Sonic is a pet. There is no disproving this theory. And the movie is just Eggman trying to get Sonic back into his cage.
Atomic Terror. Pokemon is a more realistic franchise.
What? Okay, I'm gonna need some serious context in this next sentence, because I don't know where you're going with that
than
one,
you give it
buddy.
credit for. And
Oh, okay.
no,
I
don't
was a
just
little
mean because
confused.
my mom threw me out of the house when I was 12 years old too. I mean the setting. Each Pokemon game's region is broadly based on a different area of the real world. Sword and Shield were a look at the UK through a Poke lens, whereas Tropical Sun and Moon were based on Hawaii. Now, the Black and White games are set in the Unova region, which is based on the American state of New York. In these games,
Unova?
players can catch the legendary Pokemon Victini.
No, he's doing this on purpose. There's no way. Victini?
Fans theorize may symbolize something pretty dark. Victini's Pokedex entry refers
Stop
to
it.
it as the Victory Pokemon, and states that its body contains a huge amount of power that could erupt at any moment. To reinforce this idea, Victini learns a lot of explosion-themed moves, like Incinerate, Inferno, and Final Gambit. This has led many to theorize that
How is Final Gambit an explosion move? Is it because it reduces your own
Victini
health?
represents an atomic bomb. In the United States, VJ Day marks the day Japan surrendered after the USA dropped
I thought he said a different day. I thought that was a different layer that you put in the beginning
two
of that.
atomic bombs on the
I thought he said B.
country,
No.
effectively ending their conflict in the Second World War. The V in VJ Day, of course, stands for victory. Victini
Victory what? Victory jealous? Victory jargon? Victory James? Victory
is
Janice?
also a psychic fire type, which, if you had to assign elements to an atomic bomb, seems pretty accurate. On top of that,
Water.
in-game you catch Victini in a place called Liberty Garden.
Victory
which,
Japan.
outside of
That makes
catching
sense.
it in a McDonald's is just about the most American thing I can think of. But that's not all. Remember how I mentioned each Pokemon game was based on a different area of the world? Well, Ruby and Sapphire's Hoenn setting is based on Japan's Kyushu region, which is where Nagasaki is located. If you head to where Nagasaki might be roughly on the map, you find an enormous underground bunker built to protect people from a cataclysmic event. And
Did Japan even have bunkers of that nature in World War II when they got nuked? Oh, I suppose this is afterwards. Wait, are they trying to imply that Victini is actually a nuclear bomb made by Unova to drop onto Lily Cove in Hoenn?
what's outside that bunker? barren wasteland, like the aftermath of an atomic explosion.
Wait, what do you mean, what's outside that bunker barren wasteland? You pointed at Lily Cove on the map. Did he not point at Lily Cove? He did, didn't he?
If you head to where Nagasaki...
That's literally Lily Cove. The point that he's pointing at is halfway across the country. Look, this is where the desert is. This is where Lily Cove is. What is he talking about?
Safe and secure, like the aftermath of an atomic explosion. Don't worry though, because Victini is safe and secure in the rational, mature lands of your 12-year-old protagonist. Oh jeez, please think twice about throwing that Pokeball.
I'm not on board with that. That is a very, very untenable theory. 0 theory points. MatPat would be incredibly upset.
Creepy pigs. During my time immersed in the rich, creative world of Minecraft, I've been unfortunate enough to interact with the nasty creepers from time to time. And no, I don't mean my weird uncle Danny, who always invites me to join a game with him at 2 a.m.
That's just because I wanted to play with you. I don't understand why. I mean, because my name's Daniel doesn't mean there's any problems here. I just want to play video games. It doesn't matter what time it is.
I mean, these guys. The tall, green, frightening weirdos with an awful propensity to explode and destroy all my hard work. Did you know, though, that many in the Minecraft community reckon these terrifying bombers actually have a rather quaint origin? This is the humble pig.
They think that pigs are creepers?
And
okay,
they speculate
explain.
that these
I'm ready to hear this one.
lovable creatures evolved into the monstrous creepers that the community fears today.
What level?
But it's not as far-fetched as it sounds. For starters, the game already has pigmen in it. So we know at some point in time the humble pig arrived at a branching evolutionary path. And despite being dangerous,
Leafstone.
creepers also tend to live in herds, much like pigs.
That seems like a really bad idea when your one feature as a species is to blow up. I feel like if you're gonna blow up, then you should do that away from the herd, and it's a really bad evolutionary thing that you picked up if you stay together as the explosive species where one wrong move just sets you off. That doesn't sound like a good idea.
In caves which contain mushrooms, and in the real world, pigs are regularly used to sniff out truffles. The other location they're often found, forests, hints at why they evolved to be tall and green, to eat fruit from trees and blend into their surroundings. There's even a meta
Okay, I'm on board.
As creepers initially came about when the game's creator, Notch, was messing around with a pig model and ended up elongating and changing the color. Loving the new freaky design, he decided to implement the abomination into the game. But
and that was the beginning of a long string of lots of mistakes that Notch would make.
why do they explode? Well, like many farm animals, pigs produce a lot of methane.
Like many farm animals, pigs spontaneously combust and explode in farms all of the time. The liberal media won't tell you this though, because they want you to be in a false sense of security. They don't want you to think that your bacon can explode.
You know what I mean. So much so
Okay.
that some farms have
Alright,
even started harnessing that methane as a fuel source. So when a creeper runs towards you and explodes, you may not be going up in a ball of flames so much as a ball of farts. Man,
Fantastic.
as if getting smoked by these things
Brilliant.
wasn't bad enough already.
Should have known that
What do you
Minecraft
think?
would love the
Does
fart
this theory
joke.
hold water?
Fantastic.
Or am I full of hot air? Let me know down in the comments below, and be sure to like and subscribe for even more scarring
I'm gonna
speculations.
tell you all about this in the
Speaking of
comment
which,
section
what have
below.
we got next?
This better be a good one. I'm on board with that. I think that that's true. Hungry Hauntings, another Pokemon one, is
Hungry
it?
Hauntings.
All right.
Across
you on
all
it.
cultures, humanity has been haunted by the notion that there may be something dark, horrific, and unknowable beyond mortality. And according to Pokémon, it's cuddly pets. Ghost-type Pokémon have been a series staple since the first game was released in 1996. They're spooky, deadly apparitions that can't be hit by normal type attacks, which has led many fans to
Guy's gonna come on and be like, guys, do you think that ghost-type Pokemon are dead Pokemon?
ask, if ghost Pokemon are so ghostly, how is it possible to catch them at all? Why don't they just disappear or phase through the Pokeball? Well,
Because they want to hang out with the boys, yo. Because they want to hang out, you know?
Ghost Pokemon, much
They want
like
a
the
big
villains
chillin'.
in every 2010s blockbuster, all plan on getting caught. That's right. These innocent-looking creatures are actually devious puppet masters, and their ultimate goal is to capture human souls. For example, the description of the balloon ghost Pokemon Drifloon
Child
states that it
snatcher.
tries to lure children into grabbing onto it, only then to float away with them, never to be seen again.
Okay, if I was gonna give a proper answer to this, I would say that ghost Pokemon is not the exact same thing as an actual genuine ghost, even if those exist. The genuine ghosts are actual, dead creatures, and ghost Pokemon are a different manifestation of something that has passed away but has not went into the further beyond, the here beyonder, and that ghost Pokemon and ghosts are two separate entities with different properties to them.
Next, consider the wonderfully named Palisand. How could this ghost ground-type guy be evil? He's a pile of sand that's your pal. Well, this
Ever heard of
morbid
quicksand?
Pokédex entry informs us that just under his friendly surface, there's a mass of bones left over from the people whose life he's drained. If you need even more
That's awesome,
damning
by the way.
evidence,
That's great.
take a look at Lampent, whose Pokédex entry outright states it hangs around hospitals waiting for people to pass on so it can use their souls as fuel for its fire.
That's so funny. Imagine you just look out the window in the hospital and there's a Lampent hanging out there like, hey, you still around, huh? No, it's okay. It's okay. I'll come back later. No, it's good. It's good. You're probably gonna be fine. It's okay. You're probably gonna be totally fine. Let me just look at these notes that the doctor left. Yeah, no, you're gonna be absolutely fine. I'll be back in like 20 minutes. Yeah, no, it's great. I'll see you later, bud. Okay? Yeah.
Whoa, these lovable ghost Pokemon aren't our pals. They're our predators. This is why they allow themselves to get caught. Because a young, energetic Pokemon trainer is an irresistible meal to them. So they stick around, slowly draining their loving owner's soul. And considering they're already dead, they can afford to take their time and savor the buffet. Well, as we established in the last part of this series, people do eat Pokemon, so it only
That's such a
seems
funny
fair that
picture.
they eat us too.
Yeah, no. I mean, there's different parts of the food chain. I totally agree with that. I think that is totally fine. I don't know if I agree with that theory, though, to be honest. I think that I'm on the fence. I'm going to say no, I don't agree with that theory. I think that's a bunch of shit, that is.
It's a who? In my opinion, there's no hero greater than Mario. He's
That is not
rescued
your
damsels
opinion.
in distress, toppled evil kings, traveled all over the world, and has even gone to space twice. Not
If I ask you what your favorite hero is and you say Mario, I assume that you're just a default NPC.
bad
I'm
for
sorry.
someone who still lists their occupation as plumber. Of course, with all that publicity, the Big M is bound to attract some fans. And that's what this next theory is built on. This is Wario, the brute who somehow has landed himself the starring role in 2 Nintendo franchises. He first appeared in the Game Boy Advance title Mario Land 2 way back in 1992. acting as
Wait,
that game's primary antagonist.
Mario
Since
and
then, he's popped
Wario?
up in countless spin-offs.
Do you think they're
assuming the role of
connected?
Mario's enemy. However, when you look at things a little more closely, it doesn't really look like Wario hates Mario. It looks like he's obsessed with him.
I don't
Let's
think
examine
Wario
these.
hates anyone.
For
I
a
think he just
start,
likes money.
Wario is the exact same name as Mario, just with the M flipped around. When it
Whoa!
comes to the
What?
clothes, Mario and Luigi are both plumbers
No
and
shot!
brothers, explaining their similar outfits. Well,
Oh
they
my-
do say the greatest form of flattery is imitation. And remember,
Yo!
Mario is a celebrity in the Mushroom Kingdom.
He's on to
He
something
even gets
here.
his own parade in the Odyssey game. It's a safe bet Wario knew Mario long before the two actually met.
Whoa, you think
speaking
so?
of, this is Wario's house in his first appearance. Notice the giant, creepy Mario statue in the back?
That's
Mario
funny.
isn't an arch nemesis, rival, or a member of the gang. He's an obsessed fan who dresses
Oh,
up like
gross.
Mario and stalks him.
That's hilarious that Mario, the idea that Mario has an obsessed fan long before he becomes a hero of Mushroom Kingdom is hilarious because that implies that someone is such a massive fan of a normal Italian middle-aged plumber that he even went to the lengths of getting a statue of this Italian plumber made in his house. Imagine someone comes to clean your windows and so you become so obsessed with them that you take pictures and you become them. You start dressing like your window cleaner and you set a statue up of your window cleaner in your house.
Considering one of the defining characteristics Wario's famous for is unstoppable greed.
I think it's great that we're appreciating the people that truly deserve it. Actually, I think that's a massive W. We idolize all these celebrities, these famous people, politicians, when really we should be idolizing the people that help us on a daily basis. We should idolize the bin men. We should idolize the plumbers. We should idolize the window cleaners and the retail shop stack shelf stackers. That's what we
Attempted
should be
Mario
doing.
Emulation is more an attempt to cash in on the Big M's popularity than an authentic obsession.
He's a greedy boy.
I'm not sure if that makes him more or less of a villain.
No, he's a greedy boy. I love this theory. That is my favorite theory, and I 100% subscribe to that. You should all obsess over your bin men. That's kind of weird. No, you should all subscribe to the second